We've got Steve Jones joining us now, who trains companies in negotiating with larger retailers. He's worked as a senior buyer at several of the big supermarkets, so got a good idea about how they work that side of the fence, including Sainsbury's as well. Steve, good morning.
Morning, Sean.
If you are a supplier and you've got a contract with Asda or Sainsbury's individually, what should you be thinking about if it goes ahead, this deal, and Sainsbury's and Asda become one?
Well, the first thing I'd be thinking of, even long before the deal goes ahead, or it's even considered that it might go ahead, is I'd be making sure that I've actually got defensible terms. So basically, people that buy broadly the same amount of stuff pay broadly the same price.
Right, so because we were talking to Christine Taken on Wake Up to Money this morning. She's the regulator who oversees that relationship between suppliers and the supermarkets. And the thing that she was particularly keeping an eye on was those contracts. I mean, how much strength would Sainsbury's and Asda have to say, well, look, hang on, we want out of this contract that we agreed a couple of years ago now because we're in a brave new world, we're a much bigger company, we want to renegotiate and we want to pay you a lot less?
Well, I think the problem is if you look at the moment, Asda make about 2% net profit, Sainsbury's make about 3% net profit. So where is this 10% reduction that Mike Coop's talking about going to come from? Because it can't come from their profit. And do we really think that the manufacturers have got, across the board, have got 10% fat in their profit margin that they can just pass on to Sainsbury and Sainsbury and Asda?
Well, Mike Coop was saying there are certain efficiencies that can be made, and I guess if you've got the same logistics behind the scenes, if Sainsbury's and Asda are matching all that up and they can save money by putting Argoses in Asda and things like that, I mean, would that reassure suppliers at all, or would suppliers feel like it's just going to get harder for them?
Well, I think you're right about they will have logistical efficiencies. Undoubtedly, that will be the case. But from what I can make out, Mike Coop is saying that 350 million will come out of improved buying terms, not improving efficiencies. And he also said that money will come from the 85% of the large multinational suppliers. Well, by my calculation, the large multinational suppliers aren't supplying 85% of the major grocers' food requirements. I mean, what worries me most about this is we're suddenly in a situation where potentially 60% of our food requirements are coming through two companies. I mean, we're not talking about someone selling decorative mirrors online. We're talking about our food.
But people have a choice, Steve, don't they? You know, people don't have to. They can shop locally. They can go to the market. They can where fruit and veg is often much cheaper anyway than a supermarket. So we don't have to go to those big suppliers.
No, we don't have to, but realistically, that's the way the market's going, isn't it? I mean, most of the products that we buy go through the major supermarket chains.
But is that because customers want it? I mean, do you think if customers were given the choice and there was any reduction in welfare standards, or they felt that suppliers weren't getting as much money as they were previously, do customers actually look elsewhere, or are they still all about price?
Price one would go to Aldi and Lidl, wouldn't they?
But lots more are, though, aren't they?
Well, they are. But I mean, if you look at what the rationale from what I can make out that Mike Coop said was that this will help fight off the discounters and it will help fight off the internet retailers. And I have some sympathy for that. But if you think about the discounters, Aldi stock 1,300 lines. It's quite straightforward to almost replicate their range at the same price. They've got enough buying power to do that. So I think this is a bit of a red herring.
Interesting. Steve, thanks very much. Steve Jones there, who works with these large retailers.